Welcome back to 539, everybody. We're about to pull in to this incredibly old graveyard. I don't even know how well I'm going to be able to park. This is going to be really interesting. Huh. This is going to be interesting. There's already people like driving by here. And I look more suspicious now than I've looked in a long time. But we're just out in the middle of the country, and so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. If somebody makes a big deal out of it, I think it's more their problem than mine. So if they get mad at having to go around my car, well, that's on them. All right. Let's check this place out. Yeah, so it doesn't look as bad now, but my car's at a pretty precarious angle though. There's a big dip off on the side of the road where the drainage water and everything is gone, so it kind of makes it pretty dangerous to park in and try to get out again. But wow, this place is definitely historic. Whoa. There's a lot more to meets the eye right here. There's another headstone right there. Oh, what is that? I think somebody's coming by on a motorcycle. It sounds like an old, oh yeah, it's like an old four-wheeler of some sort. Wow, this place is incredible. Look at this. This is something here, and right here as well. It looks like maybe at one time this was a fairly elaborate above ground or ground level crypt here, and it's just kind of worn away. You can see a huge divot right here, and then right here is some of the remaining concrete. Wow. Not incredibly hard to read some of them, but even these big ones seem really out of place. They're not even in, it doesn't look like they're in rows. I mean, only very slightly. You can kind of see the strange direction that it's taking here. And then along this tree here again is a ton of headstones that probably have been just discovered randomly throughout the open area here and then placed up against this tree here. And there's quite a few. Interesting feeling about this place. I kind of feel like this might be the next one where somebody comes over and says something. Not that it, again, is a huge deal, since we're not really doing anything wrong. But I feel like I've already got a few people that have been checking up on me. Whoa. Once again, they always turn out to be quite a bit deeper than what they look from the front. And there's another section, it looks like, around these little trees here. I know some of them are just slowing down because they see the car there on the road. But it just always makes me kind of suspicious when people slow down. Whoa, look at this. So again, perfectly illustrates what I've said so many times. This is a fully fledged, several 100-pound monument here, and it is just sinking into the ground. And I'm not really sure what this is. I think this is something that was used to prop it up at one time. I don't know if there's any other markers that are lost in here. Oh, somebody turned around. Somebody definitely turned around and is now slowly coming back. So this should be, it looks like they're gonna keep going though. Huh. I thought for sure they went all the way down to that farmhouse down the street, pulled in the driveway, turned around, and kept going. So who knows? Maybe just doing a quick check-in. I don't really have any idea. This place is pretty battered. This probably happened over the winter, I'm assuming. It's been lots and lots of storms. And you can see that this stone here probably got toppled over when a branch fell on top of it. And it's not the only one. Here is another one that almost surely got hit by this when it fell. And a third one even under here. Whoa. Honestly, this is probably one of the worst ones I've seen. We're about to go visit one that's in the process of getting restored now, but I'm not sure even it was really this bad. Here's even you can barely tell, but this is like a family section right here. Oh wow, something's caved in completely over here. Wow. And so you can see, wow, this is completely caved in. And the headstone's actually fallen through. And I believe this is actually the upper vault. As most people know, the graves are about 6 feet down normally. And so when you see a situation like this, just understand that I'm not showing the vault that the actual casket would have been in. This is the upper vault, and then there probably would have been another seal below with the casket in it. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way to these people's memory, but just to show the damage that does occur. And you can see that the headstone here has been caught actually in between two of the sections, so you can tell it probably split down the middle and literally fell vertically into the hole. And so seeing this section in this condition, I can officially say this is the graveyard in the worst condition that I've ever been to. It's kind of sad. Quite an amazing location, beautiful area. You can tell why they would have built this place here, but again, the winters and the large trees and all the plant life just doesn't make it easy for a place like this to exist. And so things like this happen, and very, very unfortunate. But you know, hopefully it's something that, again, maybe some people can see this and maybe do something to help. Places like this don't have to remain this way. But it's definitely up to the people of the area and the people that see this to kind of choose to do something about it, you know. And again, just so bizarre because, you know, you see some of these other areas, even this right here, which is clearly a veteran's grave, and it's in fairly decent condition here, and all around it is just absolute destruction. Well, and this tree You can see right here, it looks like at one time has swallowed a grave and it broke apart on the inside is what it looks like. I'm not really even sure where the edge of this graveyard is. There's more, it looks like Civil War veterans right here. And I can honestly say it's one of the first graveyards I've ever been to where I kind of fear for my own safety a little bit with caved in vaults like that, and seeing one of the vaults at the very beginning that had been sort of disguised. It makes you think that there could be open holes around here that you could fall in and really hurt yourself. I feel like there's probably something back in here, but I'm not seeing anything so far. This place is in such terrible condition. And there's a few different places where I'm seeing definite evidence of things that have disappeared, sunken into the ground, cave-ins. So I would kind of make a educated guess and say there's probably a lot of stuff that's lost back here, but it's hard to tell. I didn't check right along the edge of this tree either. I kind of have been wandering through the fallen branches, but these decorative plants here a lot of times cover up stones at the edge of the trees, or obviously, as we've seen before, in many different areas, but I'm not seeing anything there. This might be a section marker here. And again, kind of an area that seems to make an odd loop or arc around this little wooded area with a lot of brush and debris here. Yeah, I'm not sure. It keeps going. Whoa. A gigantic bone of some sort, and I'm almost afraid to ask with that one. I don't think that that is human, and I would assume that it's a deer. There's a lot of deer in this area, a lot of deer hunting that's done, a lot of animals that hunt deer, and it's about the right size, but honestly I couldn't tell you at this point. This place is that bad, as you can see. But I would assume that whatever is back there was probably moved to the main modern day area here and leaned up in this area somewhere with one of these headstones. I mean, these probably are the headstones from the empty areas and the brush filled areas. And surprising, again, the something like this is actually still standing with the way everything else looks here. And there's so many different pieces to them that it seems like they often are the first to fall apart. And even in between the rows here, there's more stuff that's hiding. And you couldn't really tell before, but right here looks like the top of that memorial, but behind it here you can actually see that it has fallen over and penetrated through the rock there, and that might have been what first started the cracking and caving in of this section here. And a bunch of different family members memorials laying around the edge here, and then even more are hiding here in the brush. And I don't know how safe it is even to be back here. It's hard to even tell what some of this is. There's definitely a piece of stone there, and yet another memorial that's fallen backwards into the brush. And I want to be real careful because I don't want to go in just like the hole right here. And you can see that this is penetrating it and probably will take it down with it here shortly. I'm sure that the weight will eventually bust it completely and it will look similar to this grave here. So even though it's sad, it is very fascinating to see how these places age and how they're taken back by nature. And so, you know, I figure it's worth a look to see what it's like. And again, this is not the grave, but the upper seal, and there is clearly no remains or casket below, so we're not going to show something that would be disrespectful to the deceased. But I think it's still incredibly important to see this stuff and what is possible, what can happen if we don't come out and keep these places nice and restore them back to what they were meant to be. You know, so this is the face of the worst right here. But you know, fortunately, I think it's even itself still savable. It's going to take a lot of work, but the name's clearly still on there and visible, and there could be a new slab put on the top there, and it could be restored to nearly new condition. And again, this whole place is not completely lost. It could be made to look good again. And so I think it's really important to keep that in mind, that this doesn't have to be the end for places like this. This can be just a dark period in history. I think this is actually probably one of the newest graves here, and maybe the only one that's ever been updated. You can see that there has been at some point a flag placed here. That's about the best I can do for that, but at some point there has been a flag placed here by somebody, and it's not incredibly old. And so it looks like somebody is around and trying to care for it. But the unfortunate thing too is, while these people may care for this place and may do the best that they can, they may not know who to contact, where to go, or what to do in situations like this. And so that may be some of the reason that this place is in the situation that it is in today. So again, you know, if any of you out there know anything, know people to contact in the area, can do your research to find out who these people are, or you want to suggest something to me, you can send me an email and I can try and get the right people in connection with these places. Or again, if you see places like this, you can contact your local organizations, a VA or local governments, and try and get places like this restored. So thank you once again for watching this episode on 539. Another amazing, historic, and yet kind of sad location out here in the Midwest. And so yeah, leaves you with mixed feelings, but still a place that I'm glad I came out and take the time to check it out. So thank you all. I'll see you in the next adventure.